In the early years of blood transfusion, whole blood was given directly from a donor to a recipient. It was done quickly before the blood got a chance to clot. Then came a revolutionary discovery in the early 1900s. By adding anticoagulants and refrigerating blood, it was possible to store it for some time.
Our National Blood Transfusion Service, when it was developed in 1948, was the first blood transfusion service in the English-speaking Caribbean.
We had patients coming from the other islands. We sent blood to one or two other places.
Housed in 2 rooms at the government's bacteriological laboratory on North Street in Kingston, it was the only place in Jamaica where blood could be collected. Voluntary blood donation was encouraged, and to develop this system, the first voluntary committee was formed in 1952.
In the early days, the blood was collected in bottles. They had to be returned and re-sterilized, and in 1956 the system was changed to disposable equipment.
The acquisition of a mobile unit that year made it possible to collect blood outside the parishes of Kingston and St. Andrew.
Voluntary committees were formed in each parish in getting people together to donate blood.
As the demand for the life-saving product grew, the blood bank was relocated to more spacious accommodations at 21 Slipen Road in February 1958, where it continues to serve the needs of the island's health institutions and its citizens.
Initially, we paid our donors to get the units. However, Jamaica stopped paying donors long before many other countries. And now our donors all come as voluntary, non-remunerated donors or replacement donors.
From expansion to modernization, the National Blood Transfusion Service, the NBTS in Kingston, has undergone several changes to improve its service to the country and keep pace with global standards. Through the initial support of voluntary committees, blood collection centers now operate in hospitals across the country.
And there are 9 such centers between Westmoreland and Port Antonio. All these centers are tasked with collecting units from donors. These units go to one of 3 centers across the island. Here, the headquarters at Slipen Road, or Cornwall Regional Hospital or University Hospital, where they are separated into components.
After blood comes from the donor room, 3 samples taken along with it are used to determine the blood group of the unit and also to exclude any unusual antibodies or transfusion-transmissible infections. In the meantime, the unit collected is separated into components and safety confirmation checked.
Then we actually dispatch the units to the respective hospitals that need blood.
And those needs are often urgent.
It was scary. I was pregnant and actually ended up in the hospital. This just seemed like the end for me, because if I need blood and there's none, how am I going to live? And this is why it's important for people to really have a continuous donation of blood.
The blood bank collects an average of 30,000 units per year. The plan is to increase that amount to meet the estimated 45,000 to 55,000 units in demand every year. In support of that mission, the Ministry of Health is currently rolling out a major modernization program. The aim is to achieve 3 main goals.
1, to increase the supply of blood. 2, to increase the appropriate usage of the blood. And 3, to decrease the wastage of blood.
In advancing its multi-pronged approach to modernization, a number of documents were developed with the help of the Pan American Health Organization. These include transfusion guidelines, a 5-year strategic plan of operation for 2013 to 2017, and the Caribbean Regional Standard. And as part of its 65th anniversary this year, the NBTS has partnered with the Bureau of Standards Jamaica to develop the first Jamaican standards for blood transfusion service and blood banking.
We at the National Blood Transfusion Service are confident that with the new guidelines, a robust mobile system, and good marketing, we can in fact meet the needs of the country.
But meeting those needs will depend on every Jamaican.
I have been giving blood for over 5 years now. It is healthy to give blood, and everyone should donate blood.
I've been a blood donor since 2004. Ever since I started, it became a competition between my mother and myself.
And it's a good feeling to think that you're really helping.
Helping to keep family members, neighbors, co-workers and classmates alive. The National Blood Transfusion Service continues to build on a foundation of service, encouraging voluntary blood donation, providing the lifeblood of a people.